Even the most devoted fans of the long-running crime thriller struggle to tolerate some parts of Blue Bloods, but the show still has many positives. Did you know fans on multiple online platforms have recently criticized the lack of realism, dubious police techniques, and unlikable characters? Some fans are disappointed about what Blue Bloods has to offer because it's gotten controversial. So let's dive right into it. First off, a bit too much predictability in the plots. The plots of the majority of Blue Bloods episodes are a touch too predictable for some fans, even though the procedural series are usually standard by design. According to Michael Hann of The Guardian, the same storyline of episodes makes it easy for people to understand what it is about without even watching. It's rare to see the Reagan family members step beyond the comfort zones emotionally or professionally, yet they all have separate story arcs. While procedurals are expected to follow a single pattern, fans still want to see the characters taking risks. But it's not only the Reagans that are predictable. Most criminals in Blue Bloods also have the same impulses, and the detectives have the same strategy for cases day in and day out. Some viewers blame the show's authors for the stale narratives because sometimes they depend too much on the tried-and-true investigative style. Now, that's not what the adventurous Gen Z likes. An IMDb reviewer, for one, said that the show would be better if they brought in new writers because the episodes are all too monotonous. In the same review, he highlighted the family's too predictable habits and agreed with Han that all scenes are too repetitive. A long-running series needs a breath of fresh air every once in a while, and many viewers would prefer Blue Bloods if parts of the plot were redirected. Up next, Lorraine Bracco's Blue Bloods character rubbed fans the wrong way. In the 8th season of the popular CBS criminal drama series, Lorraine Bracco plays Margaret Dutton, the acting mayor of NYC. Bracco's Dutton always clashes with Frank Reagan, played by Tom Selleck, the father of the Reagan family and the commissioner of the New York City Police. In a recent Blue Bloods discussion, one Redditor hated the character, saying that the character of Margaret Dutton was really terrible. According to a fan, the character of Bracco creates avoidable complications by talking about everything she doesn't know. The Redditor went on to say that the character is hated for stepping on the NYPD's toes even before they could figure out what happened. And we all have that one hateful character in the show. The Redditor didn't take it easy on Bracco's Dutton and called her disgusting and irritating. And then another person commented on the post saying he just mutes it when she begins talking. Fans of the show have talked a lot about Lorraine Bracco's character and what annoying things she does. One person said that they don't hate the actress in the show, it is the character that she plays. The Blue Bloods fans said that they actually liked Bracco in another enormously successful drama series, saying, "I liked her in Sopranos, but she can't be tolerated in her role in Blue Bloods." Now, don't go anywhere because there's still so much more in store for you, okay? Moving on to the boring self-righteousness of the Reagans. There's a small line between having a firm moral compass and thinking that you know how to live your life in the most useful way. Sadly, Reagans cross that line a bit too frequently over the entire series. Although Danny Reagan, played by Donnie Wahlberg, is an extremely passionate investigator, some fans don't like his self-righteous attitude. One Reddit user said that if Danny favors a person as the criminal, it's bound to be shown by the end of the episode. Fans find Danny's precise suspicions boring and think the detective should be wrong for once. Moreover, the Reddit user pointed out that Danny rarely suffers the repercussions of his actions no matter how immoral he is in pursuing justice. He constantly justifies his actions and ideas, and the series proves him right. Fans are not the only ones irritated by his self-righteousness of characters like Danny. Another Reddit thread, titled "Jamie's Moral Righteousness Has Hit Next Level," claims that Jamie, Danny's younger brother, played by Will Estes, has the same problem with viewers. The young police officer is tough to like, and his attitude worsens every season. Jamie's continuous moralizing also turns off many fans, even if he can be an easy voice of logic for his irascible brother Danny. And next, the unnecessary, monotonous family meals. One of the most iconic elements of the Blue Bloods formula is each episode's lavish family dinner scenes. The Reagan family meets for a Sunday night meal where Henry, played by Len Carew, the family's father, invites everyone to relax, reconnect, and talk about the recent events. Sometimes extended family members attend the dinners, but it's mostly the core group. The meals are so popular that the Blue Bloods cookbook, written by fellow actor Bridget Moynahan and Wendy Howard Goldberg, the wife of the show's executive producer Leonard Goldberg, was even published. That's crazy. Yet it's still not very iconic, as some fans have criticized these family meals for being too conventional and utopian. One Reddit user even mentioned them as a reason for quitting the show after just a few seasons. Someone always has something insightful to say at meals, which gets frustrating over time. These dinners are like moral lessons of the episode, which is a turnoff for some fans. Ironically, Tom Selleck doesn't enjoy these family gatherings either. The actor described filming these sequences as miserable in a 2019 interview with Cinema Blend, in part because the players have to continuously eat the same dishes for up to 8 hours each. Moving on, the controversial racist stereotypes. The depiction of how police departments often treat minorities in the media is a touchy issue, and it's become a popular topic on TV and in movies. Some fans don't agree with how Blue Bloods hustles this topic. According to Laura Hudson of Slate, the series portrays people who speak up against the police as nasty, manipulative, or deceitful, and most of these individuals are minorities. Furthermore, there are several cases of the Reagan family members racially profiling detainees or witnesses. Usually African Americans are criminals in this series. Several fans pointed at the lack of a good African American presence in the show in a Reddit discussion. The show has, however, included inaccurate portrayals of other minority groups. The season 1 episode of What You See has one particularly unsettling example. Danny is increasingly motivated to crack the crime as the NYPD pursues a mysterious bomber. He repeatedly equates Arabs with terrorists in this episode, which pissed off many viewers. Racial profiling jeopardizes every single citizen's civil rights. One IMDb critic said, "Fans would certainly want to see Danny learn a lifelong lesson about how wrong it was for him to behave this way, even if this type of profiling is unfortunately realistic." Next up, the melodramatic acting of the NYPD officers. The Blue Bloods characters show intense emotions doing their duties, since being in law enforcement is usually a risky career option. Some characters have a tendency to be too melodramatic. This behavior makes it hard for fans to take the Reagan friends and family seriously and makes them look a bit stupid. As one Reddit user put it, there are so many heavy sighs throughout this show. The user also mentioned how the speech in many Frank Reagan situations is overly dramatic. Many fans think that Frank could be forceful and unique without having his lines exaggerated. Some viewers also find Frank's excessive anxiety irritating, but Danny's anger management issues in the first few seasons are just as annoying. The investigator puts everything into finding criminals and cracking cases, but he has no idea how to control his own emotions. His explosive anger makes him overreact to witnesses, suspects, and family members. In the season 3 episode Warriors, he enrolls in anger management classes since he has a tendency to overreact to circumstances he faces on the job. Instead, Danny becomes rude and snarky during his sessions and tries to learn nothing. As the story continues, his character progressively becomes more sympathetic. But the seasoned investigator never loses his alarming outbursts of anger. And now, the fan-favorite character, Linda's untimely death. At Sir Victor's Medical Center, Linda Reagan, played by Amy Carlson, an emergency room nurse, marries Danny and joins the Reagan family. She is not just a brilliant and diligent nurse, but also a loving person who provides for her family. Her quiet nature makes her relatable to fans and makes a pleasant counterbalance to Danny's explosive fury. In the first 7 seasons of Blue Bloods, Linda is a highly likable character, so it comes as a shock when she suddenly dies. Fans were disappointed when Linda died off-screen after season 7, since the show never even suggested that the nurse might not be back for season 8. Carlson admits that she feels awful about how abruptly the show's writers ended her longtime character's presence in the series in an interview with Deadline. Most viewers still wish Linda would return even after she was killed in a helicopter accident, but despite fans' love for Linda, they must let go of this hope. Well, if there's something we missed in the video, please mention it in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Goodbye for now.